going to be talking about is why is it that enhanced bodybuilders are either lying about their drug usage or they're lying about the amount of drugs that they take. Most of these enhanced bodybuilders, especially the professional ones, they depend on you buying the products. They depend on you for them and their popularity also. Being natural would allow them to sell more products. You know, the distributors that they're working for and things like that, you know, causes you to buy certain products. So if they are admitting that they are using a certain amount of drugs, which is less than they really are using, they're saying that it's a small amount, but if I was natural, I can look halfway like this. That would keep you buying the product. So that's why even if they are admitting that they are enhanced, they're going to lie about the amount. They're never going to tell you about the side effects that they have for real, you know, just to acquire the things that they do. Now, this is just my opinion. You know, you have those guys like Larry Wheels that I talked about earlier. Larry Wheels will always say that, you know, to do the bodybuilding thing, he's gone down to TRT and he's not using the amount of drugs that he used to use and things like that. Now, I don't think he ever was using TRT doses simply because the guy's strength never dwindled. It never left. He got smaller, but his strength never left. You can do that just dieting and get smaller and still be using a truckload of drugs. And I think that this is what he was doing because he never lost any real strength. And that would have you to believe that even in a natural state, this guy is far more superior than you naturally. And it's possible, if you can find that your genetic potential would allow you to do it, you would find that you can do the same thing too. So you're gonna buy his products. You're gonna, you know, you're gonna endorse his manufacturers of whatever product that he's got going, which is gonna allow him to make more money. So being in that natural state, close to that natural state, will always have the natural person believing that they can do at least halfway of what this person is doing. They can lift halfway the amount of weight that this person can lift, which most of the time, it's time for a new ball on this old bench. That one just gave out. Anyway, most of the time, we're always listening to these guys and hoping that they're going to tell us something that's really going to help us. And in actuality, a lot of the things that they do will never really help you. It's going to help their pockets, but it's never really going to help you. It's never really going to cause you to be a better natural weightlifter if that's what you're trying to be. Because natural, you're not going to look like these guys look, and you're not going to be as big as these guys look unless you are carrying a lot of body fat to duplicate the sizes that these people have. Now, the muscularity, a natural person is never going to accomplish that look, that grainy look, that hard look that a bodybuilder would have. No matter how much they diet, no matter how much they train, it's just that the body is always going to resist the fact that you are starving it and that you are dehydrating. It's going to always resist that. So they always have to have you believe that at some point that they're not using that much, and all of them would lie about the amount they use. You take guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tom Platz, all of these guys are always talking about the minimum amount of drug usage that they use, simply because they want you to believe that their genetic potential is high. So, but you can look at a lot of them now and see that their looks are not that great. It's not that much more superior to yours, because they don't even look like they lift weights once they really stop using, when you look at them now. And it's not the fact that they got older, but that they stopped using. The drugs make a lot of difference. I don't want you to ever believe that they don't. They make a great deal of difference. And in Arnold's era, when they would be able to use enhancement freely and use how much they want, what make you think that they're going to use a small amount when they're trying to compete and trying to be the best in the world? I mean, come on, let's just use your brain and just consider that. You know, they can use the amount of drugs that they want to, really with no penalties, you know, because back then it was something where it was thought that the drugs really didn't work like that, but they really did. So come on, you know, why would you think them guys, even back then, they wouldn't use whatever they could take to win, especially if they're trying to win a competition, you know, and they know that everybody is using it, so you know they're going to play around with the amount of doses. Anyway, I want you to always know that natural is what makes sales. Natural is what causes you to watch certain bodybuilders. But you have to always believe and always know that these guys are using far more drugs than they say. And that the only reason that they are saying that they use less is because they want to make you believe that it's possible to look halfway the way they do to keep those product sales going. Anyway, that's what I want to talk to y'all about. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And again, I'll be talking to you later.